Being around others but still feeling unseen can be one of the most quietly painful human experiences. Many people describe it as if they're in a crowded room but no one actually sees them. No acknowledgement of their presence, their voice, or their inner world. Psychologists call this experience social invisibility, a subjective sense of being overlooked or dismissed by others, and it can affect anyone at different times in life. Unlike physical invisibility in science fiction, this emotional invisibility isn't about blending into the background. It's about the deep felt sense that your presence, needs, and contributions go unnoticed, even by those closest to you. Social invisibility can emerge from many angles. Sometimes it's tied to lingering wounds from past neglect or rejection, and other times it's shaped by internal thought patterns that quietly convince you that what you say or do doesn't matter. At its core, feeling invisible often starts with how we interpret social interactions rather than what's actually happening. People prone to low self-esteem or negative thinking can fall into cognitive distortions, automatic mental patterns that filter all experiences through a negative lens. These include assumptions like, "No one cares about what I say," or, "If they really noticed me, they would show it," which can make ordinary moments feel like profound rejection. When someone consistently interprets social cues as indifference or neglect, it reinforces a belief that they are unworthy of attention, even when others are paying attention. Another reason people can feel invisible is that we often wear psychological masks to fit in or avoid conflict. Over time, this performance-based version of ourselves can take over. We stop expressing our authentic thoughts and feelings in favor of safer, less vulnerable interactions. When others only see the surface-level version of us, it can feel like no one truly recognizes who we are beneath the roles we play. A partner, a friend, a parent, an employee. That emotional camouflage creates a sense of invisibility, not because you aren't present, but because the real you isn't being expressed. Beyond internal perceptions, social dynamics also matter. Research shows that people with lower perceived social status in groups, whether due to workplace hierarchy, social anxiety, or cultural biases, are more likely to experience interpersonal invisibility, where others unconsciously pay less attention to them. In these situations, the brain's natural social processing biases may favor individuals perceived as more dominant or assertive, leaving quieter voices less attended to. This isn't simply a personal flaw. It's rooted in how humans evolved to scan social environments for status signals and threats. Interestingly, part of the invisibility illusion comes from a cognitive bias called the spotlight effect. Psychological research finds that people often overestimate how much others notice them and underestimate how much others actually see them. In essence, we assume we're center stage in others' minds when in reality, most people are focused on their own internal experiences. For someone already feeling unseen, this mismatch between expectation and reality can deepen the sense of invisibility. Loneliness and emotional isolation amplify these feelings further. Studies show that lonely individuals process social information differently, which may make their interpretations of social cues more idiosyncratic and less aligned with how others actually perceive them. This mismatch between internal experience and external recognition feeds the idea that no one understands or notices them, even in social settings. It's also worth noting that societal biases can intensify the experience of being unseen. People from marginalized backgrounds, whether due to race, gender, socioeconomic status, or other factors, can face social invisibility in more structural ways, where their voices are minimized or ignored not out of personal neglect but through systemic patterns of exclusion. These dynamics create not only emotional distress but real-world effects on one's sense of belonging and self-worth. Acknowledging these psychological and social contributors doesn't diminish how real the pain feels. It simply clarifies that feeling invisible isn't about a lack of value. It's about how minds interpret social reality and how our environments sometimes fail to reflect back our presence. Understanding that this experience is shaped by both internal perceptions and external contexts is the first step toward breaking the cycle. As you begin to notice when you withdraw, when you mask your true self, and when negative thought patterns take over, you can start reclaiming visibility by practicing authentic expression, setting emotional boundaries, and gently challenging the stories you tell yourself about what others must think or feel. If these feelings are persistent or tied to anxiety or depression, consider reaching out to a qualified mental health professional for guidance and support. And at its heart, The invisible pain many of us carry is a reminder of how deeply humans long to be seen. Not just physically, but emotionally and authentically, in the richest sense.